theological virtues of faith, hope, and charity. Now, today we have quite a number of first-timers, first time to attend here. So, with that, let me read out the humble background story of Father Pirlo so everybody, the first-timers are on board. Okay, so, I'd like to introduce Reverend Father Paolo Pirlo, as he is the local superior of the Manila Community of the Sons of Holy Mary Immaculate, in short, SHMI, SHMI, hindi SHMI, SHMI. A religious pontifical order founded by the saintly Venerable Joseph Frasinetti in Genova, Italy in 1861. So Father Pirlo was born in Genova, Italy on May 8, 1964, and he obtained his Bachelor in Theology in 1989 at La Pontificia Urbaniana and a Diploma in Mariology from the Marianum Pontificia in Rome, Italy. Father Pirlo was only a brother when he arrived in the Philippines on October 12, 1989. He received his licentiate in Sacred Theology and Master in Higher Religious Studies in 1992 from the University of Santo Tomas in the Philippines. He was ordained a priest on December 7, 1991. Father Pirlo is also the director of the Quality Catholic Publication. Later, after the talk, you will see on display his books that he authored. Okay, so have a look at them. They're beautifully written and conservative Catholicism teaching. He has authored and published Catholic books for children and for adults. And to name a few that you will see outside later, they are the My First Rosary, My First History of the Church, My First Catechism, My First Book of Saints, My First Holy Communion, My First Bible, the Seven Sacraments, the Ten Commandments, and the Apostles' Creed and the Way of the Cross, all beautifully written by Father Pirlo. He is also legal representative of the Congregation for Civil and Religious Affairs and is the master of the postulants of the Sons of Holy Mary Immaculate. So, Father Pirlo has been celebrating the traditional Latin Mass, the Mass of all ages, for 4 years now, since November 7, 2020. So, without further ado, here is Father Pirlo, Father Paolo Pirlo.
Wait. Paminsan, mas mahaba yung introduction kaysa ng talk. So, please all stand for the opening prayer, which will be in Latin, in nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus,
Maria sede sapientiae, in nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Please be seated. Now that we are out of the Mass, we can finally give the much awaited palakpak to our Father. Is it the Gloria Dei choir? No, the Gloria Dei is the other. So we need to baptize your choir. What do you suggest? Any suggestion? Magnificat choir, Voluntas Tua choir. I have an idea. Sara Duterte choir. Well, let's think about that. Let's have a competition. They really sing wonderfully. Okay, so for you today, the topic is the theological virtues. Can you write? The 3 theological virtues. So today we will finally know that you don't need a teacher, a catechist. We can teach ourselves by the grace of God. So this is the structure of our Christian personality. How can I become a holy Christian and to be sure to go to heaven after I die? just listen to this. We don't want to leave anything to chambang. But when we build a house, we make sure that there are the foundation, there is the proper, the pillar, the roof. We don't just build as it comes, and we want to be sure that the design is good. Now this is the design of the foundation of the Christian life. And I have prepared for you a prop. And the prop is entitled The Pyramid of Virtues. And now our postulant, Raymar from Paolo. You know where is Paolo? In Lake. He's a Korean. He's from Cagayan Valley. Amulong. I could be a Jewish guy in the Philippines. So, our Amulong later will put up the pyramid of virtues. This, by the way, this is not my invention. This is the teaching of the church, codified by St. Thomas Aquinas. Of course, St. Thomas did not have these props, but I do. Ito na. So, at the bottom, you don't see them yet, are the four cardinal virtues. Ano ibig sabihin ng cardinal? Ito na. In English, it's called hinge. In Tagalog, it's called bisagra. In Latin, cardine. So, the cardinal virtues, it's not because the cardinals have those virtues, which is highly doubted, but it is because if I remove the cardinal, the door falls down. If I remove these four virtues, my personality, my being a man will fall down into vices and sin. So these four cardinal virtues, they make the man, for man and woman. They make a good, honest person. Tapos dumating si Kristo sa mundo nito 2025 years ago. You can choose either these or these. At first, I wanted to put a picture of Sara Duterte, but the computer immediately started the antivirus. What can I do? Then I wanted to put a picture of Father Martin, the Jesuit. And suddenly the green became parang rainbow multicolor. So these represent each one of us with a cell phone constantly in our hands. Dumating si Kristo, and He taught us, He revealed to us other three virtues. The theological. So we have four, can you write cardinal virtues? The four cardinal virtues, they make the man. The three theological virtues, they make the Christian. If one of these is missing, everything will collapse into ruin, as I will demonstrate later. So, very fast definition of virtue. Virtues is habitus operativus bonum simpliciter. Of course, everybody knows the translation of this. Also, Raymar, habitus operativus bonum simpliciter. The habitual.
The habitual disposition of good.
The habitual disposition of doing good. So if I do one good action, I'm not a virtuous person. But if I repeat over and over again the good action and it becomes my habit, then I am a virtuous person. If I go to Mass once a year, I'm not a virtuous person. But if I go to Mass every Sunday, 4 times a month, 56 times a year, I am a virtuous because I repeat to an extent that become my habit. The same is for vices. If I smoke a cigarette, I'm not a vicious person. But if I smoke 10 cigarettes every day, 300 cigarettes a month, 3,650 cigarettes a month, I become a candidate for Manila Memorial Park. So virtues and vices, they work in the same way. If I repeat a good action till it becomes a habit, it's a virtue. If I repeat a bad action till it becomes a vice, I am a vicious person. So, the 4 cardinal virtues, do you want to know them? Yes. Let us start with the first. The first is, basahin natin, prudence. To do the right thing at the right time. If I do the right thing at the right time, I'm a prudent person. If I do the right thing at the wrong time, I'm crazy. For example, you're a fireman, and then you're praying the rosary in the barracks of the fire station, Parañaque. And then somebody will call, Sir, nasusunog ang bahay ko, bilisan nyo. Ma'am, nasa first mystery pa ako. Tatapusin mo na itong rosary. It's the right thing at the wrong moment. So, if I'm a prudent person, what is the difference between a prudent driver and a reckless driver? Pagdating sa red light, a prudent driver, pagdating sa red light, he will stop. A reckless driver, pagdating sa red light, kung walang traffic enforcer, then the best drivers in the world are the German. They will never break traffic rules and regulations. I heard of a German, it was Sunday morning, there was nobody, and the traffic light was red. He did not know it was defective. So it remained red for about a month. He did not move. So vice and virtues, they work. So prudent, to do the right thing at the right time. The next, is it enough to be a good man to be prudent? No. The next, justice. To give everybody his own. If I'm a just person, I give everybody his own. I don't keep the salary of my workers. I don't steal money because it's not mine. I don't get money from the collection of the mass. Pero ba? One time I discovered one seminar, because anytime it was in the 11 o'clock mass, usually a collection is 10,000 pesos, more or less. And then when he was in charge, the collection went down to 2,000 pesos. Then when he was not in charge, bumalik sa 10. And any time he was in charge, kinabukasan, he got new shoes, new pants, new everything. So I became highly suspicious. And he was telling me, it is divine providence. No, it's not the divine providence. It's the demonic stealing. So he was caught. So justice, give everybody his own. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what belongs to God. So part of justice is to pay the debt. May utang ba kayo? So, if in this moment, any of us here has a debt, overdue debt, and he did not pay yet, so if I'm a just person, immediately I will pay. May utang ka ba sa seminaryo? Wala. Okay, good. Next, cardinal virtue is fortitude. Fortitude is the virtue of persevering in doing good. Those who start something good and they do not persevere, they don't have the virtue of fortitude. If you go in our Hall of Fame, the office on the over there is a Hall of Fame for every picture. 1 year a picture, community picture. Do you know many seminarians entered here in 36 years? Do you know? 500. And how many became priests out of 500? 35. Well, it's a good number. But what happened to the others? Walang virtue of fortitude. They do not persevere in doing good. Niñas kogon. I start, I run, I get tired, and I go home. And this happens in the church, is very common, no? There is this prex, parish unional experience, whatever, movement, association, ang daming pumasok, and after some time, they give up. We're talking about the seminary. Even me, when I entered the seminary in Italy, because anytime, although adopted son of Parañaque, but we were 15. when I entered the Seminario of San Giuseppe, Seminario San Giuseppe, 15. All of us willing to become priests and missionaries. How many of them became priests? Less than 2. Less than 2. And the last virtue is, and this is difficult, good, we just finish our merienda. Basahin natin. Temperance means to use material things with moderation. In particular, cell phone. You're so defensive. Using material things with moderation. You know, food is good. But if I abuse food, it becomes bad. So a bad thing, taken in excess, even the best thing in excess, it becomes bad. In the past, there's somebody here who used to make the adoration to the Blessed Sacrament during house cleaning. He felt inspired to adore from 4 to 4:30 during house cleaning. But immediately when basketball began, the inspiration vanished. So moderation in food. Look, I go in many parishes, no? So the parishes used to go and by the way, last Sunday I went to Holy Rosary. I saw some of you there, no? Who was there? Yes, you were there. Oh, sige, what was my offering? Mahal, ibigin ninyo ang inyong mga... Okay. Yes, the fourth Sunday now I will be there the fourth Sunday of the month. So, because charity begins at home, and then our home is Pogo National Village. Ano? Multinational. So, one time, I became friend of a woman. She was so big that upon sitting down, she will occupy 3 chairs. Kaya may special chair, titanium chair. Hindi ba sa pagbigyan ng communion, 4 na osya. So one time, sabi ko, Nay, siguro maganda, mabuti para sa inyo, magsimula kayo ng diet. Bakit? Kasi, Father naman, malaki ako dahil nakasulat ang katawan ng tao ay templo ng Espiritu Santo. At bilang templo, malaki ako. So sa tingin ko kayo, hindi templo naman ng Espiritu Santo, kundi katedral ng Espiritu Santo. So these are the 4 cardinal virtues. Even the non-Christian, they may have this. Prudence, do the right thing at the right time. Justice, give everybody his own. Di ba salary day kahapon? Did you receive your salary?
Yes, po, ma'am.
Complete o may deduction?
May deduct po.
May deduction? Okay. Okay, for the invite, okay. Pero one time. Did I pay all the salary to everybody or somebody did not receive the salary yet? Kayong lahat, tanggap ng salary.
Yes, po, ma'am.
Sir?
Except Melody and Juliet.
Except
Absent, Father.
absent. Pero nandito sila ngayon. Please tell me that I will pay the salary after my talk. Okay? No, absent. Absent sila kahapon. Do what they say, don't do what they do. Second, fortitude, everything with regulation, with moderation, and temperance. Now, even the pagan, even the Muslim, even whatever atheist might have these 4 virtues. But for us, it's not enough. We want something more that they don't have. And this something more are called the theological virtues. Who revealed these theological virtues? By Katokayo St. Paul. In the first letter of Corinthians, he said, 3 things remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest is? So, let us start with the first theological virtues, the most important for now. Faith. Definition of faith. You know, I'm very fond of definition. In Italy, we're very fond of definition. Whenever I use the word, the etymology, faith, the submission, the submission of our intellect and will to the revelation of God. We talk about the Blessed Mother. So God reveals Himself in the Bible. If I accept with the brain, intellect, and I do it with my will, then I have faith. If one of the two parties missing is not faith, for example, if I accept with the intellect, but I do not do it with my will, I'm not a true Christian. The devil knows everything about God, intellect, but is in hell. Is hell still open? Because I heard it was closed. No, there was a certain cardinal living not far away from here that he said that hell does not exist. And so if hell does not exist, where do the demons went? Where do the demons go? I don't know, maybe in the... No joke. No joke because they're recording. Then kinailangan to cut all the portions. Submission of our intellect and will to the revelation of God. Now, the revelation of God is the Bible and the tradition of the church. But tradition is verbal, so itabi mo na yan. The Bible. Let's focus on the Bible. So the Bible has 73 books, 1,500 chapters, 32,000 verses, 800,000 words, and 3.2 million letters. Who told me that? Bravo, Wikipedia. It has 3.2 million letters, at least the English Bible. In Hebrew, less because in Hebrew there are no vowels, only vocals, only consonant. And so, by faith, I must believe every single letter of every single word, of every single paragraph, of every single chapter, of every single books of the 73 books from Genesis to Revelation. Jesus was very strict. Jesus said, Iota uno. Can you please write Iota uno? Iota uno means not even the letter I. The Bible, the Old Testament is written in Hebrew, and the New Testament is written in Greek. Ang pinakamaliit na letra ng alphabet ng Greek is called iota. Okay, do you know the Greek alphabet? Very good. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, eta. Toda iota. Kappa, lambda, minig, C-O. I studied Greek for 8 years. That's where I lost most of my hair. Ang pinakamaliit na letra ng Griegong alphabet, abacada, is the letter I. It's called iota. Now Jesus said, don't you dare to change not a book, not a paragraph, not a word, but just one letter, the smallest letter, because if you change, hindi ka makakapasok sa kaharian ng Diyos. And St. John the Beloved, the one who wrote the book of Revelation, in chapter 22, verse 19, which is the last, there is a curse about these people. It's written, anyway, memorize. If one dares to add, change, if one dare to add any word to this book, the Bible, God will add all the curses to him, of this book to him. And if everybody dares to remove one word from this book, God will remove his name from the book of life and you will never enter paradise. So it's absolutely part of our faith that nothing can be added, changed, or removed from the Word of God. Sa ngayon, ilan ang mga libro ng banal na kasulatan sa Katoliko? Ilan sa mga Protestante? 66. By the way, 66 is also the number of the Daniel. Anyway. Biro nyo, si Martin Luther, he removed from the Bible 7 books. If you want to know why, in detail, you buy my book. The Ten Commandments, there is a part in which it is explained in detail. He removed the 7 books because they were speaking about purgatory. And he did not believe in purgatory, so he removed 7 books. So these Protestants, whatever color and shape, look at the books, first and second book of Maccabees. Angelo, can you check if this commandment, I think commandments, no? The page about the difference between Catholic and Protestant Bible. Imagine, he didn't like that. He removed the books. As if I say, I don't like the first commandment because I want to worship Pachamama. I remove the first commandment. I don't like the fourth because I don't want to respect my parents. I remove it. I don't like the 6 because I'm LGBT. I remove it. I don't like the hate. I don't like the priest. We are 1.2 billion Catholic in this world. If everybody will remove what he doesn't like of the Bible, only the cover will remain. And still, the Protestants have removed 7 books. But many Catholic bishops and cardinals have removed and changed a lot of things from our faith. I don't mention names out of respect. The faith we profess before 6 years ago is completely different from now. Completely. The heresy is called modernism. What is modernism? Baguhin natin ang lahat. There is a traditional Latin Mass for 1,600 years. Baguhin natin yan. Let's make the Novus Holy. There was a way of the cross for 800 years. Baguhin natin with a new way of the cross. Kawawa si Veronica. They removed Veronica from the way of the cross. So here, thank you. Page 65 from the book, The Ten Commandments. In detail, it is explained why Martin Luther removed the 7 books. Okay. I'll give you this if you tell me the list of the 7 books that were removed from the Bible. Nothing. Okay, for saying 325 52. When they introduced the new way of the cross, there is in Murphy a congregation, Veronican Sisters of the Holy Faith. You know that, no? When John Paul I invented out of nothing the new way of the cross, wala si Veronica. So the superior came here, she was weeping, Father, meron kaming identity crisis. Bakit? Kami, Veronican Sisters of the Holy Faith. Sabi nila, the Veronica never existed. What shall I do? I said, wait for the next Pope. Benedict XVI or restore the traditional way of the cross. But until, baguhin natin. Even the Rosary, diba the Blessed Mother revealed 158 marriage? Baguhin natin yan. 200. We are the luminous mystery. I have nothing against the luminous mystery because I'm also luminous. Spotlight. Standing in the spotlight. What is such a splendid night. This same one. So, baguhin natin ang Biblia. They started saying the first book of the 5 books of the Bible were not written by Moses. Isaiah, there were 3 Isaiah. Imagine, 3 locations, 3 Isaiah. The book of Matthew was not written by St. Matthew. And the letter to the Hebrews was not written by St. Paul. And so they will say that my first catechism was not written by Father Paolo, but by Diding, our new cook. Diding, I was calling her Ding Ding. Sabi, Pater, hindi ako pater. Diding. They changed everything. They changed the dress of the priest. Before it was like this. Now it's short pants, sandal, and Starbucks. They changed. The season they changed, they removed the veil. In the Philippines, still many of the veil, but in the Western world, it's easier to find a dinosaur than a sister with a veil. Yes. Mas madali, nakita mo sa tahan, may isang dinosaur, isa-isang mali ng kabelo. So I was invited, there were all the superiors, there were all the superiors of this congregation. I will tell you the name. Dorothy Sisters. Founded by Paolo O. So superiors from all over the world, different nationalities, different colors, all in plain clothes. Only one was Filipina. So siya lang marunong magtagalog. So I entered, of course we went along like this. When I saw these 40 sisters na plain clothes, may edad na sila, it looks like a house for the aged. With due respect for the aged people. So it came out of instant. Ko, ang mga madre na walang belo, parang manok, na walang balibok. And the Filipina was laughing. The other from Australia said, excuse me, Father, what did you just say? No, it's an expression in the Philippines. It means, welcome to the Philippines. And Pinay, she's laughing up to 9 times. She says, Father, oh. That was the last time they invited me for last. So we must preserve the Catholic faith without changing anything. I pity these seminarians, because they're exposed to modernist professor, they read modernist book, and unless they find somebody like traditional priest like yours. So I was in Rome, I was studying eschatology. Of course, everybody knows about eschatology. The professor was a Franciscan from Yugoslavia. He was as big as he was a human whale. A human whale smoking cigarette, red eyes. And he told us that the devil does not exist. It's the byproduct of our imagination. So I raised my hand. I said, Professor Korosak, remember, Korosak, even the name Pandemonio, Korosak. Will you call a child Korosak? I baptize you Korosak. I mean, Korosak, who will So, Professor Korosak. In the Bible and Jesus Christ, how many times he's talking about the devil, Satan, the temptation, exorcism? Pirlo is a way of saying that the devil does not exist. It's the personalization of the idea of evil. It's a figment of our imagination, so it does not exist. And I'm going to ask you that question at the end, at the final exam. Final exam came. In Italy, it's oral. So here's the professor, here it's me, and all the batchmates around. It's like that. It's not written, parang walang código. So I was here, he was there. Pirlo! You know already my question. Does the devil exist? He said, Professor, before I met you, I doubted about the existence of the devil. But after I met you, all the doubted vanished. Pirlo, everybody was laughing for about 30 minutes. He gave me the lowest grade ever in my academics. Kaya sira ang grade ko, instead of summa cum laude, magna cum laude. Anyway, at least it's worth a good joke. I said it's worth a good joke. So this is faith, the submission of our intellect and will to the revelation of God. Next. Ganito na, let's interchange. No, I guess. Love. Love is the greatest of all virtues. Love is the virtue through which we adore God as our Creator, and we care for His creatures, including our fellow human beings. So love has two dimensions. One is for God as the creator, and then to neighbors and the created world as a reflection of the love of God. So I love my wife not because I love her, but because I see in her a reflection of the love of God. I love my mother-in-law not because I love her, but because I see in her the reflection of God when he was not really in good mood. Maybe after the was. Got it? So this love, para understanding, is the most important virtue because it is the nature of God. St. John the Beloved, the one who wrote Revelation, when he was very old, he wrote these three letters, the first, second, and third letter of John. And in the first letter of John, chapter and verse, he said, Theos agape estin. Oh, after 8 years of Greek, let me write. Theos agape estin. Deus caritas est. Do I need to translate? By Raymar. God is love. Now, ang problema natin sa English, iisa lang ang salita. Love. Pero sa Griego, may dalawang salita. One is agape, agape. And the other is philia, philia. Agape is selfless love. It's the love of God. I love you even if you are unfair to me, even if you are indifferent to me, even if you are my enemy, I still love you. Ibigin ninyo ang inyong mga kawit. Bakit? Kasi ganito ang agape. Agape is like this. Is selfless love. I love you unconditionally. It's the love of the mothers. Mothers love their children unconditionally. Is it true? Well, let's ask Melba. Today is the birthday of your son. Is it true that he is only 4 years old? He was born on the 29th of February. Yeah, 29 is every 4 years. Kaya 4 years old lang. Santino, eh? Now, a mother, any mother, no matter what the children do to you, you will still love them. Because that is the love of agape. Iba ang philia. Sa philia is the human love at this level. If you're beautiful, I love you. If you're no longer beautiful, I look for another one. If you're rich, I will love you. If you go bankrupt, you're in lockdown, then I look for another man who is richer than you. If I'm happy to spend quality time with you, I visit you, I spend time with you. Then when you get sick and boring and whatever, goodbye Carlo. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Now, this is the kind of love we're talking about. The virtue of love dash agape. In Latin, it's called caritas. So Deus caritas est. Jesus never in the gospel used the word philia, much less eros. No, he always used agape. Deus agape esteem. Then mag-agape kayo. Love with that kind of love. So, that is a love that should be between Christian Catholic spouses. Of course, when they get married at first, sometimes it's love of philia. Ang ganda-ganda kasi siya eh. Ang gwapo naman. And we are so happy together. But then as time goes on, human love has a tendency to disappear. Kasi love is like a fire. Unti-unti, ang malaking sunog, maging posporo lang. One time I had 3 masses in one day. The first was in Danari, what do you call that dome made of plastic, whatever. Fernbrook. The second was in Santuario, 25th wedding anniversary. And the third was in San Jose, the 50th. Now for the wedding, when I said, you may kiss the bride, Pirlo, 30 seconds! May sound effect pa! Punong-puno ang pagmamahal. On the 25th anniversary, when I said, you may kiss the bride, Father, can we skip that part? Ay sabi ko, kung ngayon lips to lips, beso-beso. Sige, beso-beso lang, eh? Sa 50th wedding anniversary, ayaw nilolog. Sabi ko, you may now kiss, ayoko yan. Lips to lips, ayoko yan. Beso-beso, different part, ayoko. Lolo, kung ngayon ang beso-beso, anong payag nyo? Payag ko, postiso sa postiso. Ganyan ang pagmamahal ng Pilihan. So we are talking of the virtue of agape. So, through the virtue of agape, I love everybody, including my enemies, not because of what they are or what they do, but because of the love of God. Love one another as I have loved you. So this is the virtue of love, which, by the way, love, the measure of love is sacrifice. If I were to ask anybody, a person that you're 100% sure that she loves you, for example, and you already know, you have, can you tell me a name of a person that for sure you never doubted she loves you? My mother. Bravo, my mother. And if I go around, everybody will say, my mother. Sometimes, my father. I love. Because we have seen how much mothers sacrifice for us, so automatic, we have no doubt that our mother loves us. And so there was this boy, he presented an invoice to the mother. Mama, my invoice, ano, you owe me 10,000 pesos. Bakit? Dahil pakasay natin, ha? For washing the dishes, 500 pesos. For cleaning the room, 500 pesos. For feeding the dog, 500. For washing the car. For lahat ng house chores, total, 10,000 pesos. The mother was very much hurt. She took a paper and she said, I also have an invoice. For carrying you in my womb for 9 months, 0 pesos. For breastfeeding you for 2 years and 3 months, 0 pesos. For providing food 3 times a day plus merienda, coffee break, midnight snack, 0 pesos. For providing you a good education, good clothes, good board and lodging, 0 pesos. For bringing you to the hospital and caring for you and the dentist, mahal ang dentista na everywhere, 0 pesos. Total due, 0 pesos. And the mother gave to the son. And the son looked at the invoice and he started crying. Mama, only now I understand how generous you have been with me. And shame on me, I was asking 10,000 pesos a month. But now that I know how much you love me, I give you 5% discount. And the last virtue, and I finish. Ano oras na? I can continue, I know your time. And the last virtue is the virtue of hope. Has nothing to do with this earth. It's not, I hope tomorrow it will not rain. I hope Kipoloy will be elected senator. I hope, no, it has nothing to do with this earth. The virtue of hope is about eternal life. So it's the virtue by which I actively desire for eternal life in paradise. Actively desire for eternal life in paradise. Active means I need to do something. I'm going to just wait there. What are you doing? I wait for heaven. Actively. Desire for eternal life in paradise. And it has to do with eschatology. Eschatology means death, judgment, hell, and paradise. So those who have the virtue of hope, I hope all of us, they meditate daily about these things. First of all, we have to meditate daily about death. Arthur, I know you are the one in charge for coordinating for all the... How many funeral masses did you organize so far? What are they? 1,000. Just for me, it's more than 50. So if you need, you can reserve. He's the best friend of the funerarian, St. Peter. So we're not afraid of death. Because with the virtue of hope, we know that death is the gate to eternity. But we need to think about that, prepare for that, so that when that will come, that is like a thief in the night. A thief will not give a word and call it, Madam, sino ba to? Ako po isang magnanakaw. Gusto na kayo. Mamayang gabi, papasok ko sa inyo sa bintana. O kapag iwas na bukas ang bintana. At yung pera sa lamesa. Salamat po. Itong boba magnanakaw. He will come like a thief in the night. And nobody is accepted. John Paul II lived for how many years as a Pope? 23 years. His successor, 33 days. Who was the successor of John Paul II? I did it on purpose to see if you pay attention. John Paul I lived for only 33 days. You remember, it was August. I was studying in Genova, and before the news, namatay si Paul VI. Tapos after 33 days, okay, namatay si John Paul I. We were all shocked. After 33 days, because death is like a thief in the night. Nobody is accepted, not you, not even popes. So we must be ready. Like the Salesian, once a month, they do the practice of the Holy Death. They wear the black cassock, they put their hands like this, they put roses in their hands, and they say, tonight I die. So since tonight I die, the day before they go to confession, and they prepare for Holy Death. At least what they did before, when they were still Catholic. And you must be ready. I went to preach in the, I don't tell you the party. And I was telling them, malay nyo, mamayang gabi, isa sa inyo ay mamamatay. Yun ang ipa-responsible sa family may talk. Malay nyo. Eh? That night, the parish priest called me out. Father, is it true you said to my people, malay nyo? Opo, it happened. One who attended the conference in the church, he went home, he got heart attack, I think, and he died in the kitchen floor. From that moment, they never again invited me in the church. Takot sa akin. Subukan po natin dito sa PLN. Malay ninyo, mamayang hapon, shall I continue? And you see the point? We should not be afraid of that. In order to be ready, we must be in the state of grace. Kaya it's absolutely important to go to confession. And sawa ng Diyos, dito sa TLM community, I think all of you, all of us, we also go to confession. We go to confession very regularly. Sometimes even every week. Okay na yun. Sometimes every day. One time, twice a day. Twice a day. I mean, let's practice some temperance. Tapos, next is judgment. After we die, immediately our soul goes in front of the judgment of God, and when we will be judged about what we have done, about our faith, what we have done with the talents we have received, and we'll be judged about our works of charity. Did you give food to the hungry? Did you give water to the thirsty? Oh, did you give food to the hungry? Check. Did you give water to the thirsty? Check. Did you give clothes to the naked? Somebody promised to give me a talare. Because last Sunday, I was wearing this talare. Kasi ang labandera namin, maybe she is a stockholder of some rocks companies. She buy gallons of some rocks. And she let my talare take a bath. And it became transfigured. Like Jesus on Mount Tabor. Transfigurations at Clone Rocks. Some rocks. So somebody saw the Father, I buy a new one. Okay, thank you. I appreciate. Also because this talare had a lot of butas, because I'm driving motorcycle and sometimes it gets caught left and right. Naparinig lang. Oh, sorry. Did you welcome the stranger, the foreigners? And the foreigner people. Do you welcome me? Okay, check. Did you give medicine to the sick? Did you visit the prisoners? Okay, our scenarios are prisoners. No? Did you? I'm here to visit you. And then there will be the judgment. You know, somebody gave me a book for Christmas, and the visions of hell. Some of you gave me the vision for Christmas. The vision of hell for Christmas. Maybe for the week, the bubbles of Satan. Anyway, I read it overnight, and I could not sleep. So I let the light on the whole night. Very scary visions of hell. And somebody said, Father, you forgot the light. No, I didn't forget anything. The visions of hell were so scary that I couldn't sleep. Would you like to borrow that book? It's there, and it's available. But thank you for the donor, because it's a really wonderful book. I like it. Then there will be hell for those who die in the state of mortal sin, and heaven for those who die in the state of grace. Most of the time passing through purgatory. Remember, purgatory is a temporary stage. At the end of times, purgatory will be closed, and all the souls in purgatory, in God's time, all the souls are already saved, but they need a process of purification. No need to talk about purgatory, because every month of November, I volunteer 30 days to me. Okay. And finally, it's heaven. I finished. How beautiful is heaven? Jesus said it's like a wedding feast. The groom is Christ, the bride is the church, each one of us. But we want to know something more. St. Paul, one day, he was in the temple of Jerusalem at 3 p.m., very specific, 3 p.m. And he was brought up to the third heaven in ecstasies. There are 9 heavens. Hanggang sa third now. Siguro sila ang elevator. Tapos, he did not see the face of God. He saw only a reflection of the light of God, like in a mirror reflection. He was so ecstatic that when he came back on earth, he wanted to die. He said, when I came back on earth, I said, what I'm doing here? Lord, let me die. I want to see that light. And he saw only a reflection of one rays of the light of God. Can you believe? Once you see not only a reflection of one, but the whole face of God, the beatific vision, talos it be a words back in Catriona Gray. The beauty of God is beyond comprehension. So another one where the reflection was St. Thomas Aquinas, favorite of our student. He was offering the Latin Mass, of course, walang Novus Ordo, no. And as he was offering the Latin Mass, he was elevated a little from the floor in ecstasy for almost an hour. And the server was there. After 1 hour, he finished the Mass. He said, come, take a candle from the kitchen. Why? I need to burn all my books. Why? After what I've seen, my books are like straw. And we are talking of the Summa Theologiae, the greatest theological book everything. So to finish, how can I become a saint? Sarò santo se sono santo subito. Magiging santo ako kung magiging santo ako na. And now the finish, my final. Okay, ready? Now, what will happen to this pretty girl or to this handsome seminarian or priest if one of the virtues is missing? Somebody may say, okay, practice this one no, this one yes, this one. What will happen if one virtue is missing? Let's see. Brother. Take that. Don't ruin my finance. So, let's say. No, take that one. So, let's say, if I say, oh, thank you, Sagrado Dios, I practice prudence, justice, faith, love, but I don't practice fortitude kasi I easily fall into temptation. What will happen if one virtue is missing? Did you get it?
Yes.
Kasi it's difficult to do. That is exactly what happens. If one of the 7 virtues is missing, everything collapses into ruin. You cannot say, but the other 6 were there. It doesn't work that way. There are people going to jail because they killed a person. But all throughout my life, I was generous, God-fearing, going to mass, praying. It's just in a moment of fraud, I killed that person. You go to jail not for the good things that you did, but for that single act of murder. The same is with the virtues. Can you re-establish the pyramid? So, the same is with the virtues, unless we take care of them every single day, sooner or later we will fall into ruin. Kaya, magiging santo ako kung magiging santo ako. Marami pong salamat sa inyo.